Welcome to the Grim Reports. Guys, the reason why I'm doing this like this is to pay homage to the two other people as well as, well, another third. You may know him as, Chaos Theory Productions and Vamp. This is a tribute to them because I think they will both like this story. And I'm only doing it through audio because they only do things through audio. So, here we go. Possible encounter with Mothman, a very spooky sighting, posted March 17th, 2011. I'm not sure if this is appropriate time to come forward with this story, seeing that the recent events in Japan are still fresh in everyone's memory. I have been a follower of your website pretty much the start. I've read your reports and heard that your online your site was the one I thought was of the first incident happened, and I decided to write it down and tell you what happened that night, early February. I was in Japan on business. This is the man telling the story, and had an emailed a lifelong friend who was living in Japan and teaching English at a local school. He had insisted on my staying with him for the duration of my stay, saying it would help me save money and make my expense report look better when I turned it in. My friend, I will call him Tim for the sake of reputation and career. As a lifelong bachelor, and I had a fairly large apartment all to himself and his cat. After several days of day-long meetings with groups, we had decided to go out and get a bite to eat and take in the town after a fairly large meal. And hoping for one night and spot to another, we decided to go towards the ocean to check out the moonlight reflecting off the waves. My friend stated that he wanted to go check out a biology station that some of the graduate students had set up near the large power plant. As we approached the plant from the west, we walked along some path and came to a simple metal box bolted in the ground. From this box there were myriad of weather vanes and other meteorological devices. My friend has stated the school's science class students had a theory that just like the water being used and discharged by the power plant was warmed by the production of electricity, the air around the plant was also being warmed and thus affecting weather and tide patterns in the surrounding ecosystem. It all sounded complex, and my slight tipsy and tired state was only able to grasp the bare bones of complex theory he laid out. He finished up and changed the subject something more juvenile, when all of a sudden we heard a loud, distinct whoosh. At first, my mind thought it might be the sound of distant waves crash ashore, when I heard it again, followed by an ear-pinching screech that shook me down to the bone, and made my hair on the back of my neck stand up on end. We looked around for the cause. None of the noise when we heard the sound again. The best way I can describe it is a city bus brakes. When they were in need of service, loud and ear-splitting, we both continued to look around when my friend's attention was drawn towards the plant by another nearby couple, a young couple, for a walk. We're starting towards the plant, arms outstretched, and oblivious oblivious fear in the voice itself. I looked towards the plant again, the lights of the plant. I thought I saw a figure silhouette against the moonlight sky. The figure was large and black. From the distance I was at, it looked to be sitting on top of the square-shaped building. It was there for about 5 seconds, and it unfurled a large set what I could only describe as a large black wings. The only reference I could compare them to are old John Travolta movie, Michael, where the main character unfurls his wings and spreads them out. Their full length. To say this creature was large, it was an understatement. This creature took flight, circled the planet at least 4 to 5 times. Some circles. He took fast pace. He seemed to slow down. All the while he kept his attention on the row of square shapes. Building that I later found a house. The reactors, the creature came towards us, flying at least 20 to 30 feet off the ground, and a young couple who had noticed the creature first were now screaming. A crowd cowering the man, shielding the woman, while shielded his head with a jacket. My friend and I looked in awe. The creature flew over us. That's when I noticed the 2 large eyes. They were unblinked. 2 large red eyes that seemed to glow from within, a blood-red hue, that were unblinking. In the 3 to 4 seconds we then saw them, we knew they were looking straight at us. We knew this creature knew we could see it, and it made no attempt to disguise itself. The sick, intense, and overwhelming feeling of dread came over us. A feel that shouldn't be there. Was, to say the least, overwhelming. As quick as it came, it flew away, back towards the town, eventually melting into the night sky. And as it flew away, a loud whoosh was heard again. Then silence. It lasted a second or two before I heard the sound of a shutter. Turned my friends trying to take pictures. His cell phone, but all he got was a dark nighttime sky. We went straight home, and my friend bolted the door and drew the blinds. He was shaking and saying that he could not believe what he just saw. Could it have been a large unknown species of bird? He kept muttering to himself until I was able to calm him down and getting him to relax and talk about what we had seen. Eventually, we both agreed that it must have been some sort of large bird, maybe an optical illusion, because the lights were given off by the plant on a regular known species of bird. We talked about it late into the night, till we both fell asleep on the couch and awoke the next morning. Stiff necks and backs, my friend and I spent the last 2 days out and about and enjoying each other's company till he had drove me to the airport, and we bid each other farewell, and I came home. We spoke about it only once more in the email about a week before he was due to come to the U.S. for his sister's wedding. When I brought up it at the wedding rehearsal dinner, he was convinced that it had been optical illusion, that it was until the day before the wedding when he woke me out of deep sleep with a frantic phone call telling me to turn on the TV, and came an image of a devastating Japanese earthquake near the total destruction of the city of the town of Okuma, where my friend was living and working. The day of the wedding, the news came of the explosion that came at the nuclear power plant, and as CNN broadcast the report, we both gasped. As the same power plant where we had the strange bird-like object not being shown on the television set. The Fukushima Daiichi was the exact same plant we had seen. The strange bird-like creature circling was pure coincidence, or was it in the myth mythical Mothman doing his strange work of predicting that disaster. I may never know, and I may go to the grave wondering that. But one thing is certain, for sure, I don't know. Don't think neither of us is going to forget this evening, no matter how long we live. And that, my friends, was a tribute to Vamp, Lugosi, and my brother Chaos. Not my brother, but my brother. Chaos Theory Productions. Look them up. You guys will love them. And till then, good luck. Good night. God bless.